Morning, good morning, good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are tuning in from around the world. So this is the Ear Chakra Week live stream support call, and I've just seen there's a lot of you guys going, I'm feeling stuck, I'm feeling like what's going on, I'm doing all the teachings but nothing's moving, I'm feeling stuck and bogged down and everything. So let's talk deeply about that this week, because we are right in the ears. And obviously, there's a lot of you feeling like that, right? So, say hi when you jump on live. Let me just bring this up here in the group. And I'm feeling really nervous about going on live stream this morning. What is with that? Like super nervous. It's weird, right? Okay. Hey, Shasha. Okay, so let me check. Yes, I'm just going to check these like questions, because obviously I haven't responded to them. Yeah, and I guess that's why it's interesting, right? It's why I got hey Luca, Yuri. Say hi guys when you jump on live. So there's a lot of you feeling stuck, right? And Kali, I see your question around like the dark stuff and not letting it vibrate and my aura, like all this sort of shit, right? Let me deeply speak to this. Yeah, it's just us for now. Yeah, people jump on. Hey Benjamin. So say hi when you're here, let me know you're here. I'm just gonna kind of scroll through these comments, right, in the group. Like there's a lot of, like in Elizabeth, and I know a lot of you guys have sent me private message as well. I will respond after I jump off this live stream. So because Elizabeth said, is it just me, or does it feel like there's a huge void going on right now? It feels like nothing is moving, the water is stagnant and I'm freaking drowning. No matter how hard I try to meditate and put the teachings of Hannah into motion, I just come up with a roadblock. What am I doing wrong? Hey Steve. Hey. Okay, so I'm just gonna like speak to this, right, a lot, because we're right in Ear Chakra Week, and I want to point out that this is all about the ears, right? This is all about listening. This is all about opening. And the one kind of thing I want to say is that, and I was getting the message just before I went live, was the fact that like, we think that when we're not getting information, we think that when our meditations are not working, we think that when nothing is moving, that something's wrong. Yeah? We think that something's wrong. It's not working. I'm not getting any information. Why is it stagnant? Why isn't it moving? Stuff needs to be moving. And I really want to point out that the power in the ears is to be here now. Hey Doreen. A big theme coming up with my clients at the moment is letting go of control, being okay with trusting the unknown, being okay with being, right? We've stepped out of like cutting through to the true third eye. We've stepped out of like, okay, fast pace, like the crown, like everything's open, like, whoa, all these ideas, okay, let's put them into action, and like, oh my God, I'm waking up to reality and the shit in my relationship, and like, oh my God, and then we hit the ears and we're like, why is it quiet? Why is nothing moving? Right? Do you guys get it? Yeah? This is the energy of the chakras. Really want to bring deep awareness to this. And when like, and when I'm reading your comments in the group and I'm speaking to them, I'm not saying you guys are wrong. I'm not telling you that you're doing it wrong. I'm not saying that, oh, you're doing it wrong, and no, that's not what it's about. All I'm doing is bringing an understanding of the energetics, of the dynamics, of the energies that are going on, right? This is how you guys are learning, right? And I really want to point out that everything that you're feeling and experiencing is the ears, right? Why isn't it moving? Why am I stuck? Why am I just still? Why aren't the meditations working, right? It's like, well, they are. Even when you think you're not getting any information, you are. Now that, for the logical mind, cannot understand it. For the heart, it's like, of course. And what are we moving into next week? The heart. We are moving into out of frantic mind control, trying to understand and analyze everything and always needing to do something. And we're coming into this space of being present, right? How many of you guys have heard of Eckhart Tolle and The Power of Now? There are other like present moment awareness books as well. I haven't actually read Eckhart Tolle's Power of Now. I've listened to his audio a bit. I've got his book there. I haven't read it because I read a different one. I'm trying to see what it's called. It's called Present Moment Awareness, I think, by someone I've never heard of. And it's exactly that, right? When we come into the present moment, it you know, it's why a lot of people say like, I can't meditate. I can't meditate because I can't turn my mind off. Mum has a book. Meditation isn't about trying to turn the mind off. It isn't about trying to stop thought. That would be like trying to stop breathing. Like it's kind of doesn't happen unless you actually have a car accident or something. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't physically stop breathing. Like your body is designed to keep breathing. Like no matter how much you try and hold your breath, you're going to take a breath eventually. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a, I don't know, whatever survival response, I don't fucking know what it's called, right? When we hit the ears, it's about listening. It's about being present. It's about being here. The mind freaks out. Something's wrong with that. Which is what I always talk about. The mind will always try and overtake your heart. Confusion comes in when the mind is telling your heart that it can't do something. You're like, yes, my passion, I'm alive. But your mind will go, oh no, but you need money, stay in this job. Or you need to do this, you need to, no, that's not going to work. Don't do that. People will think you're crazy. People will judge you. Your mind is overtaking your heart. The mind will always, always find something wrong with this moment. Always. But the heart never has anything wrong with this moment. Ever. Hey Jenny. So with you guys posting the group, like please keep posting your emotions and like, you know, like please keep reaching out because you guys are learning from this, right? And I'm here sharing my understanding of what's going on for you guys is that you're in the ears, which is deeply connected to the heart, which is deeply connected to the base. The base chakra is all about trust, right? We're either in trust or we're in control, which comes from fear, right? When we feel like nothing is going on, can you be okay with being in this moment without needing to control what's going to happen next? Can you trust the unknown? Can you trust spirit in general? Because this is what this is, the ears, the heart, the base. Can we open up to receive the messages? But even when we think we're not receiving anything, can we be okay with the nothingness? Can we trust nothingness? Can we trust when it feels like there's nothing there? Can we trust when we're listening and waiting for that intuition to come in that goes, now's the time to take action? Trust. The ears are deeply connected to the base and the heart. And it's all about trusting in this present moment. Do I need to say anything else on this live stream? Right? That's what's going on. Yeah. It's a big one, right? Like, because our ears are being activated and our heart, right? Our heart is like, you know, like, so I'll speak about the dark and light stuff, Kalia, in a moment. So Elizabeth is saying there's a huge void going on right now. It's like, yeah, we're learning to listen instead of trying to figure everything out and do everything ourselves. We've opened ourselves up to spirit. All these amazing freaking ideas are coming. We've had spiritual awakenings. We're like, oh my God, this is amazing. We've hit the third eye. We've gone, holy fuck, this is my reality. I'm not sure if this, I like seeing the truth of this, right? And then we've hit the ears. It's like, okay, what's the next step? And we're waiting for that. And fuck yeah, it feels like a void because we're so used to trying to figure it out on our own. We're not used to having spirit's help, right? And you guys are like, I've listened to my angels before. And I'm like, have you? because this is what it feels like. Trust, right? Even I've been going through it this week. I'm like, what's going on? Like Marilyn, help me. And it's just like, there's nothing. And I'm like, okay, this is where we trust. This is where we step into trust. Trusting of timing, trusting of now, right? The power of now, like present moment awareness, being in the now. That there is nothing wrong with this moment in time. But you're like, yeah, but I haven't got this client, or I haven't got this money coming, or I haven't got this, or I haven't got this, or this is happening, or I don't know, I'm not getting. That's here. When you drop into here in your heart, there's nothing wrong. You've got a roof over your head, you're breathing, you've probably got food in the cupboard, you might have had sleep, you might not have, you can get into a bed at night. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, when we really look at the reality, there's nothing wrong with this moment. But your mind will always try and find something wrong. And it will find something wrong, actually. It will always find something wrong. And this is where I'm always harping on about mindset. Train your brain. Brain training, brain training, brain training. Mindset, mindset, mindset. Have you done any affirmations? How often? When was the last time you guys did your affirmations? Right? Now, the other thing I want to point out, right, is when Elizabeth, you're saying, like, what am I doing wrong? Like, there's a big void, right? I'm doing all the meditations. No matter how hard I try and meditate and put the teachings of Hannah into motion, I come up with a roadblock. Yes. So have you asked Spirit when to take action, or are you just trying to take action from your brain, from your mind, from, I don't like using the word ego, right? It's a big part. And yes, listening, but if there's no action, like you're not getting any messages to take action, well, now's not the right time. That's when you go, okay, what self-care do I need to do? Okay, what do I need to clean up around my house? Oh, what do I need to do to prepare? Because you kind of know what's coming. You kind of know what you need to do. Have you done the other bits of intuition that you've been getting for the past 2 weeks? Or is that still on the to-do list? Because sometimes, when we're talking about the heart and we're talking about putting stuff into action, that's about being present in the now. Present moment awareness and, the power of now and mindfulness is about being present with what you're doing. Even washing the dishes, even having a shower, even brushing your teeth. Like, where are you when you're doing those day-to-day things, right? This is where, how, like, I talk about, and I'm like, and I say, like, you're a walking transformer, or you're, what else do I say? There's something, I'm like, I'm always receiving intuition. Like, it's not like I sit on my meditation mat or my yoga mat, and that's where I do my work. I'm like, no, my work is all the time. How do we do that when you've already started to experience it, dropping into the ears and dropping into the heart? It's like you kind of know what you need to do, right? You know the actions you need to take. You know all that. So when you come into the heart, it's about being present in the moment. And this is where I'm saying I'm always receiving intuition, because I'm always connected, not just when I'm meditating on my mat, not just when I'm doing yoga on my mat. That's not the only time that I'm connected and then I walk off into my reality and disconnect from spirit. No. I'm always listening. I'm always connected. I'm always receiving information, right? And people say I'm not receiving information. I'm like, I bet you are. Actually, right? I bet you're doing things intuitively that you don't even realize you're getting the information for that you're doing, because this is where the clairsentience comes in. Like, you're naturally intuitive, you naturally do things, and I think that you don't realize how much you do things that you're intuitive, that you're picking up, that you're doing. Like, like it's hard to voice, it's hard to say, yeah? So in that space of understanding the messages that you're receiving, and this is what I actually said it to, I think, 2 or 3 people this week. I'm like, you don't need to consciously understand the messages to feel them. Yeah? You don't need to consciously understand the messages to feel them. Right? That's the big one. Now your mind's trying to figure that out. Can you feel that? Can you feel that, right? Your mind is trying to understand that. I really want to point out this head-heart stuff, right? The mind was just trying to figure that out. You don't need to consciously understand something to feel it. And your mind's like, but hang on a sec, hang on. You got it? Right? You don't need to consciously understand something to feel it. Yeah. This is where the trust comes in. This is where the faith comes in. You want to talk about life purpose? Yep, you do feel things that you don't understand. Exactly. Right? We feel something. We're like, oh, and then the mind's trying to figure that out. And this is what I'm talking about on my live streams, right? And I'm like, you feel stuff. And then like it comes in, right? You feel stuff into your energetic field. Comes in from someone else or somewhere. It hits you. You feel it. And then your mind goes, oh, let me figure that out. Okay, actually, it'll pull up a memory from the memory bank, right? Of everything that you've gone through in your life in previous lifetimes. And then it's like, oh, that's similar to this feeling. Oh, that's what this is. And then we make it about us. And that's when we get confused. And that's when we take on abuse energy. And we're like, oh my God, it's me. What the fuck's wrong with me? Right? You guys comprehending this now? Like, you know, like, this is a powerful, like, clear, get killer intuition, like free training. Like if you've been following these past few weeks, like you're picking up a lot right now. You have a deeper understanding of intuition because it's that, right? And this is where I'm always saying to you, I'm like, are you aware of what's just come into your field without trying to understand it, right? We don't need to understand something to feel it. Yeah, we don't need to consciously understand it to feel it. Okay, let me just see. Do you guys have any questions? Because I'm just going to scroll through the group. Yes, they do. Children live in the moment so much better than adults. Grown-ups overthink situations. Yes. Okay, yes, thank you for sharing that. I was like, okay, what's the next thing I need to talk about, right? I didn't know. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just sit here until something else comes in. Did you see what I just did then? I'm like, okay, I'm not getting information about that. What is the next thing that I need to talk about? I'm like, there it is. Okay, cool, there it is, right? I trusted that the next thing would come through rather than going, okay, fuck, I don't know what I'm going to talk about now. It's like, no, okay, what's next? Listen, wait. Okay, because the thing I wanted to say, thanks Benjamin, it was coming. Grown-ups overthink situations. So why do we? Why do we stay in our head? Right? Why do we get stuck up here? Why do we need to control something? I need to figure something out. I need something else to do right now. I cannot be present in the moment. Why is that? Because fuck, I've actually got a lot of grief in my heart that I don't want to feel. I'm just going to stay out of here and I'm going to try and figure something out because I don't want to feel the pain in my heart. Right? It's huge. And it's why society is here. I always harp on about this, right? I was even getting the message this morning and I actually probably going to do a different sort of a live stream for it. I might jump on public live stream because, yeah, I will actually. So there is so much grief in everybody's heart from relationship breakups, from, you know, a change, from moving house, from something that someone said to us when we were a kid. Like, we are carrying so much grief as humans, and I always harp on about it. People are like, don't sit in the emotions. I'm like, yeah, but if you're not sitting in them and feeling them, you're freaking pushing them down, and that's why we get stuck here and why everybody gets sick and disconnected from their body, because they're not listening to their heart, right? It's a big one. And this is like, you know, in my first module in Trust Intuition, I go into details about how to go through grief, right? About how to support yourself, about how to hold space for yourself, let alone other people in grief, right? Why? Because if we're not feeling, we aren't also getting our intuition, right? We might be here. And you know how I always talk about amplifying your intuition? And I'm like, yes, you'll be strongest in one of the 4 main spiritual organs, either your claircognizance, your clairvoyance, your clairaudience, or your clairsentience. You'll be strongest in one of them, right? And now I'm like, let's amplify, let's get strong in all of them, right? Now we might feel lots of other people's stuff, right? And the energy comes in and then we're like getting confused and we're like, I don't know, right? It's because we don't know how to process the grief in our own heart. So we're a little bit disconnected from that. So then when somebody else comes in, like, doesn't mean we don't feel, like we still feel, right? But somebody else's stuff comes in and we're like, oh, that's them, they're toxic, quick, get that out of my field. But what we're actually not doing is we're actually not processing what's going on in our stuff, right? So we kind of, that's where we're like blame, because we're like, hang on a sec, if I have to process your stuff, that means I have to feel my stuff. I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to make you the bad one and you're toxic and get the fuck out of my life, rather than actually dealing and processing your own grief that they probably triggered in the start. Right? This is why I'm always harping on about understanding the grief cycle, right? If you want to amplify your intuition, you need to understand that grief cycle. You know how to feel your emotions. You need to know how to travel them all the way down through. This is what I work with my clients with. This is what I teach in Trust the Intuition. Why? Because it's how we amplify our intuition. It's how we not get confused. It's how we stop blaming, projecting, saying that everything else is wrong in the world instead of looking at our own heart. Is it easy? Fuck no. Especially if you've never had somebody hold space for you before, right? It's foreign. This is the shit that should be taught in schools. Hence why I always say I'm serious about changing the world, because I want to change the curriculum to the shit that I fucking teach. Like, this is like, I've just friggin' told you guys, right? When people say, I want to help the children, I'm like, yeah, so do I. This is how I'm going to teach. Like, this is what I want to do, right? Can't believe I just told you guys that. It's like so out there. I'm like, how is that even possible? I don't damn well know, but that's kind of what I want to do in the long run. Anyway, get the fuck out of my life. No, Berta, not you. Is there somebody in your life you want to say it to? No, I don't know. Just about feeling the energies. Probably want to watch the start to understand what I was talking about in its depth, right? So, yeah, and it's interesting, right? Because we judge kids when they have a tantrum, right? Perfect topic, yeah. We judge kids when they have a tantrum. We judge kids for feeling the grief, right? And we shut them down and we teach them that it's not okay to feel sadness. Hence, why we grow up going, it's not okay. I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to get belted. I'm going to get locked in my room. I'm going to get told to stop crying. I'm going to get told da-da-da, right? That's why I'm very passionate about aware parenting, hand-in-hand parenting, because of exactly all this, right? And this is, schools need this too. Yeah, life skills. Yeah. Yeah, they need all of it, right? This is why it's like, with the kids and aware parenting, I'm like, this is the stuff that will change the world, right? If people would just understand emotions and understand how to feel them and understand how to be with them rather than trying to stop them, rather than trying to judge and just put them down, right? But to do that, we have to be present. We have to be able to listen without trying to control, right? So how I've been talking about control in this live stream, right? Here's where it drops to the next level. So many of us are uncomfortable with not only our own heart's feelings, but with other people being upset. It takes a lot of skill, practice, understanding, and so much more to be present with somebody else being upset. We want to make them feel better, right? Which is a natural human thing. We don't want them to be upset, right? However, at the ears, it's about listening to somebody else without trying to change them, without trying to fix them, without trying to control how they are feeling. This is like, I don't know, I don't remember which step, in Al-Anon, right? In the Alcoholics Anonymous, in all the 12-step programs, I don't have control over somebody else's feelings. We cannot control somebody's reaction to somebody else's feelings, right? But we try and do it. We try and do that. We try and make them feel better. We want them to stop hurting, right? It's a natural response. However, why do we have that such a strong pain response? Like, we want to stop, we want to change, make it feel better. Why? Because it triggers our own pain. when I started doing aware parenting, right, and I know I'm talking about parenting, but this is holding space for big feelings, for tantrums, for crying, for anger, for sadness, right, in somebody else or ourselves. It's holding space. It's listening without trying to change them. It's totally holding space, right? But your mind might go, oh, you're upset because here's the meditation remedy for that. Here, let's do this. Spiritual bypassing, we just miss the whole point of feeling, of why we're here, okay? So whilst I believe that everything has its purpose and meditating and everything, there's high benefits in it, right? I wouldn't fucking have over 100 meditations I've created, right, as purposes for them. However, to be present with feelings and just be okay with it. Honey, you're really upset. I can see that you're really upset. I'm here. I'm not leaving you. You know, I just saw your comment then, right? Benjamin, it's like, you're really upset. Dad's here. I'm not going to leave you when you're really upset, okay? I can see you're really angry with me, or you're really angry, or you're really upset. I'm not going to leave you. Dad's here. I'm not going anywhere, right? But it's really fucking uncomfortable when you first start doing this. Please note that inside, you're like, but I don't want you to be upset. But I want to try and fix you. But I want to change you. But all you're saying is like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm here. You're really upset right now. I'm not leaving you when you're upset. Dad will go away when you feel better. Or, you don't say that, but like, because sometimes they push you away and they want you to go away. And they're like, leave me alone. Go away. Right? It's like, no, honey, I'm not leaving you when you're upset. Meaning I'm not abandoning you when you're feeling like this. When you need me most, I'm fucking right there. Yeah? Imagine if our parents did that for us. Holy fucking shit. Holy shit, we wouldn't be here healing from the shit, right? That's why I'm so damn passionate about it, right? You take deep breaths, and then I'm like, what the fuck do I do now? Yeah, you just be there. Sometimes those tantrums can go on for an hour and a half, especially when those kids haven't been listened to before, right? Now, I know I'm talking and stepping into parenting here, but you apply this to anything. You apply this to a close family member. You apply this to someone who, and this is where the line between abuse and values and boundaries comes into play, right? Yeah? This is, that that audio recording that I did. If you haven't listened to that, that's where you need to listen to, because abuse and that is different. When we're talking about kids, when we're talking about our partner in their shit, in their emotional shit, when we're talking about that, can we hold space for that without trying to control it, without trying to change it? Can we listen to them? It sounds like you're really upset right now. Can we be with these massive big feelings and emotions, right? And when we're really uncomfortable, doesn't mean that we're not uncomfortable within ourselves holding space for that. Doesn't mean that like, oh, I'm fine over here. Like, that's fine. No, we're usually freaking out. We're like, oh my God, what the fuck do I do now, right? It's like, yeah, inside. And we might get triggered. And this is where it steps into where I always talk about being triggered in yourself, but still holding space for somebody, right? Doesn't mean that we're not triggered inside. Fuck no. Usually most of the time, right? But it comes into, this is the deep awareness of like, okay, this is what I'm seeing going on, right? Using all your fucking intuition here, using all of your clair organs, right? I'm seeing this. That's what's going on for that person. Oh, that father did that. Oh, okay. Like, you're getting all this intuition, right? And then if we're not conscious from here down, so to speak, or our ears, and we know how to hold space, right? This is where we step in and we go, oh, I'm going to fix you. It's your dad. You need to do this meditation. Here you go. Bye-bye, right? No, okay? This is where we step into, okay, I've got all this intuition that's coming through about what's going on for that person. Okay, cool. It sounds like you're really upset. This is where we amplify our gifts, our holding space, our like, oh my God, you heard me, right? Because we're going, because we're stepping into that space of like, we've got that deep awareness of what's going on. Or it sounds like you really needed support in that moment and you didn't get that from them, right? Because you can see what's happened, right? You don't need to point that out to them. They fucking know, right? They know. All they need is to get it out and just go, oh my God, yes, that's what's happened, right? And then inside you, you might be feeling sad and triggered and upset, right? Because you had a similar experience. You might not have finished dealing with that. That's why, one, this situation's probably come into your field because it's still here. We're talking about shadow work. We're dropping into shadow work now, right? it doesn't mean that it never turns up in your life again. It might mean that there's still a little breadcrumb that you need to feel in your heart from the grief that you didn't fully feel about that situation for yourself. But when you come into this deep awareness, you can hold space for this person, whether it's a child or whatever, and you've got an awareness. You're like, okay, I need to go and see my counselor. Like in yourself, you're like, how do I need support right now? Okay, I've got this going on. All right, cool. I can be here for this person. Then I need to go and book a session. I need to go and cry, right? Rather than you then projecting your hurt onto that person and it just turns into a big mishmash. Does it take practice? Fuck yeah, it does. Does it hurt? Sometimes. Most of the time, you're still feeling hurt, right? But when you can be aware of everything I just shared that's going on for that person, then you come into awareness like, fuck, I'm sad about this too. Instead of taking it personally, you drop deeper and deeper into going, oh, I've still got the same sort of thing going on there and I haven't finished dealing with it either. Okay. And then we shift out of our heart so that our intuition can be amplified and we can feel deeper and hold space for more people. It's not about, oh, I can hold space for more people. It's just like, this is kind of what happens, right? And this is why the constant evolution and doing this inner work is like, it's normal. And it needs to be consistent. If you're starting to be awake and you stop doing this work, you can imagine, right? You're just up here because you're not feeling. At the end of the day, you're just not feeling. And that's where we get clogged up and backed up, right? So I hope that helps you a bit there, Benjamin. It's not easy holding space for kids. Fuck no, it isn't. Because it brings up all our abandonment of how our parents weren't there for us. I don't know how many times in the start when I was doing that with my daughter when she was a toddler, how it would trigger the pain and the abandonment that I would feel from not getting what I needed from my parents. And this is where it steps into parenting ourselves and giving ourselves what we need, because we will never get it from them. Like, we know that, right? And that's why we're doing what we're doing, and usually why we step into doing this with our kids, because we don't want them to go through what we went through. Right? But does it bring up the pain and part of our past and not getting? Fuck yeah, it does. And when we can go and meet those needs and cry and grieve for the stuff we didn't get, then we're not passing that on to our kids. Yeah? So Shasha says, I've been telling my son that he needs to have a cry. Just realised that this is telling him what to do, and perhaps this isn't why he isn't crying. Yes, crying, we might know they need to cry, but what makes people cry is feeling safe. Feeling safe and connection. So when we're talking about telling them what to do, so spiritual, we're talking about third eye crown, we know what they need to do. But if they don't feel like they're being heard and that's being controlled or forced, right? This is where the ears, do you know what I mean? And so we're cut off from here down. We might see and know all this stuff, third eye crown. But if we don't feel safe enough to open, and it's connection that creates safety, that creates people opening up. It's connection, right? So how do we create connection? We hear people and then they open up and they trust us because we feel it. We are there for them. And everything I'm saying about for other people, it's also for us. Can we do the same for us when we feel upset? When we feel like we're not getting any information? Can we trust that we feel, right? If we're talking about, like you were saying, Elizabeth, about the void and about being not receiving any information, and like I'm actually a little bit scared about that. I'm scared in trusting the unknown. I'm deeply fucking scared about that. That's brand new for me. I've never done that before, and I'm actually really scared, right? And there's so many factors in that. It's like scared of letting go of control, scared of not knowing, scared of, all of that, right? And when we open up and we start stepping deeper and deeper and into this, right? Crown, third eye, ears, heart. When we step more and more into that, what do? We amplify our intuition, because our intuition won't come in as strongly or as clear when we're trying to control a situation. right? And it's like all you guys that have like said, yes, I'm going to do this free intuition training. I'm like, you guys don't know really what you signed up for, do you? I say that with so much love. I'm just saying, right? You're doing it. Yeah, you're right in it. And again, please know that I'm not pointing out like you guys are wrong and you're posting wrong stuff. And like, please know I'm not saying that. Fuck no, I'm not saying that. I'm just helping you understand what's going on, right? So does anyone have any questions about that? And I just want to point out that's why I guess I was called to share that blog yesterday. I didn't know why, I just did it, right? I'm going to read out. I'm feeling called to read this. You got questions, please post them, even if you're watching the replay. What if I was becoming more kinder and kinder with every word I spoke to myself and others, even in my mind? What if I was really mindful of the energy I'm creating around me by the way I think and talk about myself and others to other people? What if I decided to only see the good in others and I ignored the rest? That's holding space. By the way, it's not denial, right? What if I only saw the good in them? What if I saw that person's really hurt from all the stuff their dad did and blah, 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 and we're seeing all dynamics. What if you saw that? What if you only saw, like, in meaning that, you're like, oh, I see what's going on here. That person's really fucking hurt, actually. They might be throwing abuse around. Doesn't mean we have to handle that abuse, right? And this is where it comes into the values and boundaries and blah, blah. But we can have compassion for them instead of judging them as wrong, bad, toxic, because we actually see the truth of what's going on. We see the whole picture, right? What if I was so clear on my energy and boundaries I was able to say no easily to what is not aligned with me in my life? What if everything I thought about happened in my life? What if everything I thought about happened? That's a powerful conscious, like, whoa, what if everything I thought about actually happened? What great love we could offer if only we saw. Can you explain that a bit more, Tammy? I'm needing more information before I say what I'm going to say to that. What if I realized my true power is this? What if the magic began when I began becoming so kind to myself? Meaning, when we feel hurt, when we feel abandoned, when we feel like we're not getting any information, when we feel all this dark energy, instead of going, there's something wrong with me. Oh my God, what am I doing wrong? I need to fix this. Something is wrong. Instead of doing that, and I used to fucking do that all the time, right? I used to do that all the time. And then I realized why my reality was so fucked up. I'm like, because I thought something was wrong with me and I was making myself wrong and worse for feeling. I judged harshly every fucking feeling that I had in my heart. There's something wrong. I'm feeling upset. There's something wrong with me. I'm feeling this. There's something wrong with me. Do you see the mind is like judging it? It makes it 50,000 times worse and we wonder why we feel exhausted and tired. Right? Yeah, what if we stop judging others and just loved? And that comes from this deep understanding of everything I've just shared on this live stream, right? Even when we judge, it's oh, I'm judging this person. What am I not feeling in myself? What heart stuff have I got going on that I'm not feeling? Rather than making it about them. As soon as we judge, we've got 3 fingers pointing back at us. So judgments happen, do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, that person, oh, what's going on with me? Because I'm noticing it in that person. So it exists still within me, right? What if my life was filled with joy and love? What if I saw the joy and love? Yeah, it's always about us, 100%. What if my life was completely mine by design? Every single aspect of it. What if my choices were automatically elevated to the highest version of myself? What if my life was filled with so much fun? And people are like, oh, it's not fun at the moment. Be like, what if it was? What if my life was so easy and full of flow? It's really hard at the moment. What if it was? What if I became so aware of my thoughts and feelings? What if I automatically knew how to support myself with my thoughts and feelings to the highest possible outcome? What if my soul knows exactly what to do every single time, even if I'm not getting any information? What if my soul knew what to do? What if my soul is always connected to source? What if every time I connect to my soul, I automatically connect to source? Now, that can be in those moments, you're like, I don't know what to do, I'm not receiving any information. And then you remember, actually, my soul always knows what to do. Actually, my soul is always connected to source. What does my soul have to say about that? Oh, I'm not getting any information from my soul right now. That means I just need to be present until I get the information of what I need to do. Now, this is where I always talk about that your power comes in the now, the power of now. Eckhart Tolle wrote so much about it, right? Said so much about it. Your power comes from being. Being. It's a very feminine, receptive energy. Being open. We need to listen and wait. We're not getting any information. We need to wait. Can you trust the wait? Can you trust the wait time? Or do you go into fear and anxiety and like control? I need to control the situation that's not moving. It's stagnant. Like, is it stagnant? Is water really stagnant? Is it? I don't know. Is water really stagnant? We might be thinking of like a real kind of like, you know, like muddy pond, right? Kind of what comes to mind with stagnant water. Is it really stagnant? Like, do you know what I mean? Like when we really think about it, is it really stagnant? Not really. Right? Yeah, ponder. I'm getting you to ponder. They're resonating with yourself. Yes, are we feeling these words? Exactly, right? This is what I said on the start of this live stream. If you jumped on later, please rewatch. We don't need to consciously understand something to feel it. And the mind's like, hang on a sec, let me figure this out. No, this is where the training comes in. This is where the brain training comes in. This is where the trust comes in. Yeah? The reason when you're saying, are you getting us to ponder these questions? Like the mind's trying to figure it out, right? The what if questions, I know there's some sort of training about it. What if opens us up. When we're feeling stuck, when we're feeling stagnant, when we're feeling out of control, because we don't have control of the situation. What if opens us up. When we're like, this isn't working, but what if it was? Oh, well, it would be like da-da-da-da-da. What did we just do? 1, we changed our focus. 2, we opened our energy up to resources from spirit. 3, we let go of control and we stepped into trust. If we overthink things too much, we second guess everything because we're not trusting ourselves. We're not trusting our heart. I always say confusion comes in when our mind is trying to overtake our heart. The heart always damn well knows. But sometimes it's so full of pain, we don't want to feel that pain, and so we don't go there and we don't trust it and we judge it and we stay up here because we haven't felt the grief in our heart about whatever situation in our past. One thing at a time. Yep. So I got the message to post that yesterday. I'm like, oh, because everyone's in their shit. And it's okay, right? I've been in my shit too, right? So I had to log off last night. I'm like, I need to get the fuck away from my computer for a minute. Right? Everybody has shit. Like, it's been a tricky week. Like, the energies have been full on this week. They've been full on. They were full on last week. And in like, what, 2-3 days time, today we step into the 3-day window of our full moon. The full moon is like, It's Tuesday lunchtime, Australian time. So it must be the day before. So it must be, I don't know, something in America, like, you know, on the other side of the world time. So it's like, you know, and it's not like when you just said then, like, love, hugs, and prayers. It's like thanks. But in a sense, it's like, it's okay to feel. Like, it's okay to feel. Too much crazy stuff for me. There's a judgment. There's a judgment, and you just made it 50 times worse. Thank you for sharing everything you're sharing, guys. Like, please know when you guys say stuff like that, I'm not saying you're wrong, you shouldn't be feeling that. What I'm doing is helping you to not feel so much shit, right? You just judge too much crazy stuff coming at me, right? I could have said that too and gone, but when I feel so much, I'm like, okay, I just need to log off for a bit because I need a break. I need to do me, because there's always crazy shit coming at us. Always. Always. How to change the thought? You go, oh, what self-care am I lacking in? Because when we are dealing with everything that I've just shared on this live stream, and we're actually feeling the pain in our heart, right? How to change the thought? You do everything that I've just shared in this live stream. Because there's some sort of pain in your heart that is triggering you, like all the crazy shit, like let's say all the crazy shit that you're feeling is triggering something in your heart that you don't want to feel. So you just go, ooh, no, that's toxic shit, they're crazy, too much, go away, fuck you, basically, right? Basically, because you're not feeling what's in your heart. That's why I logged off last night. I was like, I need to go and sit in my bed and do nothing because I need to feel what's in my heart. Right? It wasn't wrong. It wasn't bad. It wasn't that they did that to me. It wasn't that, no. You'll need to watch the replay. You will not understand what I'm talking about right now or grasp the entire concept. Please watch the replay, yes. Because I see a lot of your comments in the group and I have spoken to you a lot about it as well. So, like, all pain you haven't dealt with, yeah. That's what's being triggered. Yeah, please watch the replay, guys. You'll not understand, you might understand what I'm saying, but if you want to really grasp the depth of what I just spoke about. Because Kalia, when you can watch the replay and you can watch this 10 times over and you'll pick up something new every single time, right? Always remember that with all my trainings, guys. So, because when you're saying here, Kalia, like, is it okay if I ask a silly question? It's not silly at all. I know what you said about the dark stuff and about not letting it vibrate out of my aura. I'm like, I'm just curious about this whole light dark thing. It's really confusing. Is it true that the dark can attack us? It's right. It's like right when something good, it's right when something good happens, a shit ton gets piled on top of me and I'm slipping back to a lower vibration again. And I've been told that there's this whole battle going on between the light and the dark, so I'm just really lost. Yes and no, right? Understanding, like, if you watch the live stream, it will help you understand what I'm about to say to this. And I'm just going to read this. So, Doreen says this last week, when I judge, I recognize it and look within. I'm choosing to look at the pain, judgment, and shadows with love. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, this is the thing. I'm like, you want to regain your power, guys? I'm like, when you get, you know, and this is where I'm always saying, when you get triggered by something, it's triggering what's in you. And if you really want to understand triggers, rewatch the entire of this live stream. Because it's pretty much how you understand the depth of triggers, because we're stepping out of the ears and we're stepping into the heart this week. And that's why you're all feeling stuff. And that's why we're like, there's something going on and I don't know what it is and I can't control it. Because we just don't want to feel the pain, and our control mechanisms stop us from feeling the pain in our heart and help us cope in the world, because no one's actually been there for us the entire time to actually feel and actually understand how to feel in the first place. This is what I help a lot of my clients. It's like how to feel. Yeah, you'll want to watch this replay. So let me just... So the whole like dark light stuff, right? It's pretty much like, it's pretty, like, you know, with what I just have been sharing on this live stream, I'm not going to repeat myself. You guys need to rewatch the start. It's like, it is what you're talking about, and it's not. In a sense of, like, you know, like, if you really want to understand shadow work as well, watch this live stream again. Because what I'm about to say, it's like, so when you said it's like, it's right when something good happens, a shit ton gets piled on top of it, and I'm slipping back into a lower vibration again. So lower vibration is a judgment of vibration. You've just made it 10 times worse by thinking that it's lower. The dark comes and attacks me is a judgment of the energy that you're feeling. So yes, please watch the live stream, because I just spoke about this just before you jumped on, I think. I kind of got to the point, and it's exactly that. The only reason something feels like it's attacking us is because we're like, oh, it's triggered the pain in our heart of something that we haven't felt. And we're like, I don't want to feel that pain, so you're bad, you're toxic, you're fucked, go away from me, because I don't want to feel my own pain of what that's reminding me of in my past. Hello, the entirety of society. We don't know how to feel our pain. We don't know how to be there for ourselves. This is what I'm passionate about teaching. This is what I teach you guys, right? This is why I'm passionate about feeling your emotions and knowing how to do that. When you say it's right when something good happens, a shit ton gets piled on top of me, and I'm slipping back to a lower vibration. No, judgment is not helpful, but judgment also helps us to become aware of things. Judgment is good, right? Judging the judge, don't judge the judge now, right? Let's not make the judgment bad either, right? Because you just judged the judge, right? You know what I said, did I say in this, was it in the ears or this? Oh, the relationship, it was in the thing, right? In the relationship, to the relationship, to the relationship of the thing. This is where I'm talking about the third eye, right? So we don't want to, so the judge, right? We're like, oh, so the judgment is not helpful. Well, no, it's not. But actually, let's not have another judgment on the judgment, right? So we've just got another 3 parts there. And this is why we're like, don't know how to feel. And we're so here because we're judging the judgment. And like, oh, that's bad. Oh, well, I shouldn't be thinking that. That's bad too. And it's like, how deep do you want to go with that? It's like, whoa, 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 right? It's like people get lost down the rabbit hole and they wonder why they go crazy and put in psych wards, right? It's like, whoa, trying to figure everything out. It's like, how about we just feel the fucking pain in our heart and like, let's be grounded in our body with our presence again, right? So the judgment is not helpful in the moment of our lives. Let's not make it bad. The judgment helps us to become aware. We see the reality of things. When we judge something, we're like, oh, what pain am I not feeling? Then your judgment becomes discernment. Then your judgment is actually your golden key to becoming more aware of your reality in general. Do not make the judgment bad. The judgment is helping you wake up and see the truth. It's then what do we do with the judgment? We're like, oh, let's, instead of looking out there, again, pointing the fingers and like, oh, judging them, it's like, oh, judge myself. Oh, what's judge teaching me? What is judge helping me become more aware of that I haven't been feeling in my heart that, fuck, I'm actually still really sad about that relationship breakup and I haven't really dropped to the depth of it, and you're reminding me of that, and fuck, that really hurts. Right? So interesting, right? If you guys are just jumping on, you'll want to watch the entirety of this live stream. Hey Kelly, thank you. Seeing the truth, right? This is the reality of seeing the truth, right? Realization, third eye. Oh, I'm realizing it's what you finally understood. It's always something happening within ourselves, right? If you please watch this live stream like 10 times over. Like if you want to fully grasp something, watch this, no joke, watch this live stream every day for the next week and you will pick up something new every single time you watch it. I guarantee you, right? Because when you said it's always something that's happening within ourselves. Yeah, so remember when I said we're feeling energy all the time, right? And I talk about this on my live streams all the time. We feel energy all the time. When we feel it and we're like, oh, the mind is trying to figure what that feeling is, right? Then I'll be like, oh, I'm going to bring that from my memory bank because that's reminding me of this. And like, oh, well, actually, that's triggering all this fucking pain from my relationship breakup back when that I haven't actually felt the depths of. So like, actually, you're toxic. Go the fuck away from me because you're triggering my pain and I don't want to feel it. So get the fuck out of my life, right? Like, it's like the same, I just repeated myself, but it's like, that's the same process that we go through until we realize that we're carrying so much pain in our heart and we're damn well cut off from it. That's why we don't listen to people either, because when we start listening to people, right, the ears and the heart are always connected. I always talk about this. When we start actually fully listening to people, what it does is it starts opening us up to feeling our pain, and we don't want to do that. So then we don't listen to people because you're wrong. So we step back into the third eye, if you want to call it the negative of the third eye, and we're judging that person. We're not feeling what's going on underneath. Right? We're making it about them because we don't want to listen to them and their toxic bullshit, if you want to call it like that, because they're triggering our own pain of all our past shit that we haven't felt and we don't know how to. Now, I'm not saying that you guys are wrong for not feeling your pain, because it's society. We're brought up feel like, if as a kid, if we're crying and upset, we're going to get belted and locked away and abandoned in our room because we're fucking upset. Right? And that's why I'm damn well passionate about aware parenting. I've said it on a live stream before. I'm repeating myself. So please watch this live stream over and over and over again if you want to understand shadow work, if you want to understand triggers, if you want to understand how to amplify your damn intuition and why you're even seeing things in your reality to start with. Right? It's huge. Yeah. I know I'm getting fired up, but I'm just explaining the energy. Please, I'm like feeling like I don't want you guys to feel bad if you're posting in the group and then I'm talking about it. I say this to my clients all the time. I'm like, I'm not making you guys bad or them bad or anything. I'm just helping you understand the energy dynamics of what's going on so that you can grasp the consciousness of what I'm trying to teach. So please know that, and please like keep posting in the group. Please posting everything you're doing. Don't censor yourself when you're going, oh, maybe I shouldn't say this. It's like, no, please, because you don't understand how much it's helping everybody in the group grow and, you know, like helping me to help explain things for you guys, right? Yay, you understood, Natalie. Yay. So Berta said, just quickly went to my bookshelf, a funny yet helpful read about not judging the judgment of the book. The subtle art of not giving a fuck. I've heard that. I've heard of that book before. Not judging the judgment is the book. Yeah. It's a big thing, right? We're judging the judgment and judgment. Like, you know, like, yes, please watch this over and over. You will get something new every single time, right? Okay. Stop crying or I give you something to cry about. It's the truth though. And it's so detrimental, you know. It's kind of like the kids in the playground, right? They get in trouble for belting another kid, right? Or at school, whatever. What happens when they're home? They fucking get belted. What the fuck are they getting taught? Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe not so much these days, but fuck shit still goes on. I've seen it a couple of years ago in my own fucking eyes. I'm like, they just got in trouble when the new belted them. I'm like, can you not see? Like, what's going on here? I was like, the fuck, man. Sorry. I get fired. I'm passionate about this shit, right? I'm passionate about what I'm here to do. Like, so please watch the replay of this. Oh my God. Are we hearing the messages and understanding now? Right? So yes, please rewatch the live stream if you've only just joined. Okay? Oh my goodness. Alright, so the first hour was the trading. I'll pull cards now and I guarantee you they'll probably keep going with all the messages. So, if you are live, please, yes, have some water, yes. I was just about saying, put that fire out. I'm like, fuck no, I'm not putting the fire out. Helping to fuel the fire. Yes. Honestly, like these trainings, and I was even thinking, I'm like, I'm actually gonna put, I already have decided I'm gonna, like all the, like the weekly trainings. Oh, if you want a card, say yes, please have a card, but you must be live, for the card. Excuse me. So all the, like daily bits that I've put in the group, I'm actually going to turn it into an ebook at the end. So after the Heart Week, I'm going to put it into like an ebook, so that you guys have, you know, so you guys have got it. Because I know that posts get lost through the group and it's tricky to find and everything like that. So anyway, I got that message, and I'm going to do something with these videos because they are pure gold in them. Like if you watch them over and over again, you will pick it up, you'll pick it up, you'll pick it up. All right, cool. So let me, whoops, this one. Let me see the comments. Okay. Okay, if you guys are just joining at the live stream, you'll need to rewatch it because, yeah, okay, Tammy was first. Oh, let's see if I can turn this around. Yeah, if you really want to gain the most out of this free training, watch these free live streams over and over and over again. But yeah, I'm going to do something with the videos, I'm not sure yet. Okay. So, hang on a second, I'm just making sure that, okay, so Tammy, interesting. So debt paid off. The old weight and habit of debt is lifted from you and your life. Now, it's so interesting. Oh, so I'm just like, what's jumping out at me is this butterfly and her green legs. Whoops, I'm back to front. The butterfly and the green legs and her. And I'm like, oh, we're like dropping down into the heart. And it's so interesting, right? Like, obviously this has financial meaning, but it's also about karmic debt. Now, I was getting the message last week strongly. I posted about it. I'm like, by the full moon, everything will be revealed, right? And it's like the message I'm getting, and I'm like, it's past life karmic debt stuff. It's like it feels like a finishing of the past 6 months of everything that we've gone through with the eclipse portals and all the past life karma stuff that was coming up. It feels like there's like, I don't know if it's like a finishing or the last like little thread is being cleared out on the full moon, right? So just be mindful of that, guys. And Tammy, for you, it's like the heart, like the green and the butterfly in the heart is that, like, you know, like with everything that I've just explained on this live stream, when you really grasp that concept and you stop, you know, making everyone wrong in the world, like this live stream alone has the power to fucking change the world if you get it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if you get it, live it, and be it with everything I just taught on this one fucking hour of training alone, right? This one goddamn thing. If everybody on the planet did that, we would have world peace. Like, we literally would, right? Oh, I'm just passionate about this. Okay, I guess I'm fired up about it because I'm like, when I know the power in that, I'm like, why isn't everyone doing this, right? I've got my own stuff going on. So yes, so Tammy, the message that I'm getting for you is around the heart. It's like, and you said before, you're like, not dealing with the old pain. I'm like, yes, right? So the debt is paid off with the people and the karmic ties in your life when you deal with the own pain of the situation that they caused you in the past, right? And it's not like, well, you caused me this pain, blah, blah, blah. But when you're in that pain, and this is what I tell my clients, when you're in that pain and when you're feeling that grief, it's okay to say, you know, but you're not saying it to them, right? You're not having a face-to-face conversation saying, you hurt me. But in your pain, in your grief, and you being present with your own pain, it's okay to acknowledge authentically, you really fucking hurt me. Like, I am deeply cut and hurt and upset about that. When you're sitting in your own little space with whatever and however you do it, right? This is what I help my clients with. It's okay to deeply acknowledge, like, you fucking asshole, you fucking hurt me. Right? But you're not saying it to their face. You are in your own space, dealing with your own grief and your own authentic feelings. Like, you could be curled up on your bed, crying your fucking eyes out, going, you fucking hurt me. Like, that's your authentic response to the situation. That's how you truly feel what's really in your heart. But not blaming them to their face and having a full-on argument to their face. Like, no, right? This is authentic shifting out the grief that you're feeling in your heart, right? When you do that, the karmic debt is paid off with that person because you no longer are carrying the grief and the hurt about the situation that happened in the first place, right? That's the message for you, Tammy, right? Feeling that depth of grief, right? And being authentic with it, though. That's the message I'm getting for you. Being authentic, right? When you're feeling it authentically, it's okay to say those things, to voice them when you're processing it in your own space or with a counselor. Like, it's okay because that's you authentically feeling what's really going on. That's the only way we do that, it steps into abuse and it steps into projection and blame and all that unhealthy, toxic shit when we're having an argument with them and going, you did this to me, right? But when we can actually acknowledge that in our own space, in our own heart, it's kind of like we're blaming them, but we're not. We're just like putting a voice to the feeling, but we also know that that's what's going on in there. Like they're hurt in whatever way. Like we know that, right? But the spiritual bypassing comes in when we're not acknowledging how we feel and how we deeply process that in ourselves. Oh, that's where we what's the word? Brush it off and go, like that's the spiritual bypassing. Oh, well, like they really hurt me. Well, they're just in their shit. That's okay. Like I see what's going on. That's okay. It doesn't matter that I'm hurt. Like that's where we cut off really, right? That's where the inauthenticity comes in. And that's where, you know, people like us feel the inauthenticity. And we're like, something's off with that person, right? That's where us as empaths feel. And this is where us as empaths need to know how to process our own feelings in the depths like that, right? So Judy, please rewatch the entirety of this live stream if you really want to grasp shadow work, understand the intuition, all of that. Watch this over and over and over. Kylie, I seen you guys join live, so yeah. So, and that's the debt paid off. It's like the karmic debt paid off. It's like, yeah, finishing off. Yeah. Okay, so let me see who is next. So Kalia, the children card. So interesting, right? I'm not sure if you've got children, Kalia, and I spoke a lot about children on this live stream in a sense of how we feel, in a sense of our feelings, in a sense of all of that, right? So it's like, please rewatch the live stream to understand the children card. This is what I'm going to say to you, right? If you guys are just joining on live and seeing a lot of jumping on live now, please rewatch the live stream. Yeah, like I would say a lot about this card, Kalia, but it's like it answers your question by rewatching the live stream about this as well. Like, because as children we get told to stop feeling and then we stop feeling, and I just don't want to repeat the whole live stream. So please, can you let me know if you got kids? I don't think that you do, but I did end up speaking a lot about kids because our past pain that we're carrying stems from when we're a kid. Most of the time. So please let me know if you've got kids. So yeah, that children card is like confirming, and also about the light and the darkness and stuff too with what you said. Yeah, so Kelly's got a child. Yeah. But it was Kalia. That's who I was pulling card for. This is actually for you, Kelly, the spring card. So your desires fully manifest as the flowers begin to bloom. Now, whilst this can also mean like your, you know, like the seasonal thing, I also feel like you're coming into the spring. You've come out of the winter of your life, Kelly, and now you're like spring blooming, you know, like in all areas of your life. Like the flowers are open, the bees are coming in. It's like, you know, it's like you're in the spring period of your life. You want to say that. You've come out of the darkness, you've come out of the cocoon, and you're exploring the world and people are coming to you, is the message that I'm getting for you. Hey, Ashley, please rewatch this live stream. Oh, you do have a kiddo. Okay, cool. I was needing to know that before I kept reading that card for you or not. Please rewatch the live stream. Like, oh my God. Like, if you guys are just joining, like, please rewatch the live stream. Watch it 10 times over. That first hour, you will get so much. Yay. Yep, so Sherry, please, yep, so after the past week, so everybody's been in shit, everybody's been feeling stuck. If you haven't, like, obviously joining me live, please rewatch the live stream. Like the first hour, please rewatch it. You must, if you've been feeling shit, if you've been going through shit, if all this stuff's been happening, please rewatch the live stream. Like, that's all I'm going to say. So I just want to speak to Kalia for a minute. So with your child, right? And I'm really curious, like, you know, what's been, I guess, going on for you too. Like, I know you posted and you're like, the light in the dark, and I'm feeling like I'm being attacked and like all that stuff. And I'm just curious, you know, like, I guess with your child, and it's like come into this space of like, with everything that you've shared, like about that and the light and the darkness and the kid, like, I don't know, it just like, I'm curious, I guess how you are with your kids. If you're going to rewatch the live stream, I'm talking about belting your kids. I don't think that you do that sort of thing. Like, you know, because Benjamin asked questions about how do we be with our tantruming child. And it stemmed into, and it was just like, oh, well, this is all about feeling and why we are here, like healing from all our feelings and blah, blah, blah. If we just did this with our kids, but when we're actually present with our kids, it also brings up the pain of what we never had, right? So yes, please rewatch that, because that makes sense why that's come up as well for you around that. So yeah, and like, I mean, if you rewatch the live stream and you're like, I still don't understand the child card that I got, like, can you please just let me know, Kalia? Because I feel like the answers are in there. I kind of got that before, right? So that's that. So Kelly, the spring has come. So Nadia, this card is for you. Ooh. Nadia is be yourself. This situation calls for you to be your authentic self, which is the basis for your personal power. I'm not sure if you were watching the whole live stream or not, Nadia, but you were like, oh, I understood it, whatever. I'm like, this is exactly what I've been talking about, right? This situation calls for you to be your authentic self, which is the basis of your personal power. It's exactly what I spoke about on this live stream, right? When we actually authentically feel what's in our heart, and it's like, you know, this is the basis of our personal power. Yeah, you must have to rewatch the live stream too, Kalia, for that reason. I'm like, yep, you need to watch you need to rewatch. So please comment, you know, if you watch the replay and you're like, I don't understand, like, just, yeah, but I have a feeling you will. So yes, so Nadia, like this, be yourself. Yeah, I'm not sure where you came in, but it's exactly that. It's like, you know, it doesn't mean that that person is wrong, and it doesn't mean that you're not hurt from the situation, but we don't, I guess, blame them. It's like we become aware of it. We're authentic with how we're feeling, and then our personal power, our basis for our personal power, because it's like then when we're authentic, then it steps out of judgment and it becomes into discernment around, well, actually that person really hurt me, and you know, is this going to continue or that? And then we're like really tapping into our intuition and our feeling, like, well, what decision do I need to make from this? Like, do I need to step away or do I need to continue? Or, you know, like we have a clearer understanding of what our heart and intuition is really guiding us to do, rather than staying in the judgment and they're bad, they're wrong, they're toxic, they're hurting me. When we actually drop into the authentic feeling of like, fuck, that really hurt, and we drop into like the crying on the bed or whatever, like for an example, it's like, they really hurt me, and like really being with that, then we clear that energy and hurt out, and then we step into our personal power, because underneath our heart is our solar plexus, which is the basis of our personal power. And when we're not full of feelings, we can really amplify our power. We can trust ourselves and our decisions rather than being clouded with all these emotions that we're still stuck up here, right? It's like, this is where we really tap into our personal power to make the decisions that are best in alignment for trusting ourselves and our life purpose and our intuition of what we're being guided to do. Right? Pretty powerful, right? Got it, Nadia. All right, Berta. All right. Oh my God, I just shuffled that. I saw me shuffle that friggin' card. This is for Berta. You're so welcome, Nadia. You're so welcome. I fully shuffled that, eh? Like, okay. Pretty amazing, right? So this situation calls for you to be your authentic self. Now, it's interesting that you walked over and you pulled, yeah, what are the odds? How many cards are in this deck? You walked over and you pulled that book off the shelf about judging the judgment. So I ask you, hey Jenny, what are you judging? Where are you judging the judge? Right? And you guys can see, right, the power. If you want to talk about shadow work, judging the judge, like if you can see the power in shadow work, so your judge helps you discern. Yeah? If we're talking about shadow work, the judge, right? We have a judgment, that's a shadow. Your judge is a shadow. The light side of the judge, its gift is discernment. So you can imagine how how much darkness you stay in when you judge the judge, and you're judging the judge, and you're judging the judge. You're staying in the shadows. You're not receiving the gift of your judge, which is discernment, which helps you stay on track with your life purpose in your life. Do you guys see that? It's pretty fucking powerful, right? You're judging the judgment that others are giving. Yeah. And that's what I got there. It's like the authentic part. So how are you feeling about the judge, like the judgment that others have, right? I'm not sure where you came on, but I can't remember. But when I started speaking about control, again, it's like, yeah, I guess I'm saying rewatch the live stream if you didn't catch where I was saying about, it's about us controlling the reaction to that other people have, or controlling other people, or controlling how other people are feeling. Like, we have no control of that. You guys know that, right? But it's like, if we're authentic about our feelings, we don't need to control other people, because control comes from just staying up here because we don't want to feel what we feel, which is everything I've been speaking about. It's fucking powerful. Holy shit. Yep. So I'm like, this is a powerful fucking live stream. We are stepping into throat. You know, we are stepping into heart, but the throat's here. I'm like, this is why all this stuff's coming up, right? Yeah. So be dropping into the, the holding space. Yeah, holding space for yourself, holding space for them, because you know what's going on for you. I'm like, you're triggering this massive fucking pain with me, and I can still be with your shit right now, but I need to go and process my own in a minute. Give me some, right? That. Yeah, so be looking at what's coming up for you for sure to help shift it. All right, Benjamin says, yes, please, for Sienna. Okay, this one is for Sienna. This is the fairy cards. Oh, you said, what are the odds of this? I don't know how many cards are in here. I think there's... Oh, usually it says. No, sometimes it says how many cards are in it. I don't know if these are like... I don't know if there's 40 cards here. Maybe. Man, these are some powerful trainings, you guys. Oof, stuff that's been coming through. Okay, this is for Sienna. Ooh. Interesting. Sienna, this is your daughter, I'm pretty sure. Walk away. Because I was like, oh, this is for Sienna, but this is also for Ben. For Benjamin. Leave the unhealthy situation and enjoy the new doors that open as a result. Now, so interesting, right? That I just spoke about the heart and dropping into the solar plexus. Because when we're clear and we go through our authentic feelings, then we're clear in our trusting of our intuition. This is yellow. That's why I'm bringing it back up, right? It's like this solar plexus energy of like, you know, like trusting yourself, staying on track with your life purpose. My Trust Intuition course is based in the solar plexus, right? It is about trusting ourselves. Do you trust yourself enough to walk away? Now, Sienna, if this card has come up for you, I was kind of talking to you, Benjamin. I hope you picked that up. If this is coming up for you, Sienna, I'd be like asking yourself, like, where are you not feeling heard? Where are you feeling hurt in your life, right? Like, what is your heart feeling? Like, you know, is there something that somebody has said to you that's making your heart feel sad? You know, and maybe voicing that. Hey, Teresa, really, really powerful live stream, Teresa, about shadow work and feeling feelings and stuff you might really want to rewatch. I'm like, everyone, rewatch this live stream 10 times, like the first hour, watch it 10 times. Yeah, leave the unhealthy situation, enjoy the results, the new doors that open. So Sienna, I'll be like the waterfall in the background here is really jumping out at me. It's like, you know, like, what are you needing to voice? Like, where is your heart feeling sad that you haven't allowed yourself to voice the hurt because you feel like you're going to get in trouble, perhaps? You know, and it's just like really having that open communication and feeling safe to be able to voice, right? Rather than shoving down our emotions and like being hurt, right? It's okay to voice that hurt. So Very interesting, Benjamin, that's come up for Sienna. If she's got any questions or you're not sure, just let me know. Okay, so this is for Doreen. Oh, let go. We're talking about letting go of control. People were just dropped into the solar plexus. I hope everyone's picking that up. Let go. As you surrender the need to control, your relaxed energy rapidly attracts your desires. Yeah? When we're talking about being your authentic self, when we're feeling the feelings authentically. Yeah, okay, awesome. Yay. I'm glad you get it, Sienna. I'm glad that's helped you. So when we let go of control and our your relaxed energy rapidly attracts your desires. So guys, if you haven't watched, you know, if you jumped on late, please rewatch the start of this live stream, because the first part of the live stream was talking about when we're not receiving any information, we are, but when we're not receiving any information, or it feels like things are not moving or stuck or stagnant or whatever, it's like, can you be okay with the unknown? Can you trust the unknown? Can you trust letting go of control? Can you trust, can you be okay with that? Or do your mind have to freak out, blah, 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 and I'll just repeat the whole live stream. So I don't want to repeat myself, even though I kind of am in ways. So Doreen, for you, it's like the more that you can do the whole process that you I'm pretty sure you were here from the start, I remember seeing you. When you can do that, and the more that you authentically feel, the more you authentically drop into trust and trust and trust and trust and trust and trust, the more your desires rapidly manifest, because that controlling energy doesn't let anything else in. When we, like, what if, right? It's like, well, I posted that what if yesterday. What if this is not working? Well, what if it was? Oh, what if it was? We've just changed our entire energy focus, right? We step into trust because it's possibility. Yeah? So, let those feelings out. Let the tears out. Brings tears to your eyes. Let yourself feel it. Drop into that space. Because, and this is the thing that happens, right, guys? It's like people are like, I don't want to feel because I'm scared of letting them go. But what you're actually doing is you're letting go of the pain of the situation. Love never fucking disappears. Love is the thread underneath all the pain. We're letting go of the pain of the situation. I still love my ex of 5 years. I'm like, I would not be where I am today without him. I fucking love him for that. But it's not a painful love. It's not a love that I want to go back into a relationship with him love. The love has changed, but it's more authentic. That's where we step into gratitude and forgiveness. Like, you know, when people say, oh, I need to forgive them. True forgiveness, don't even fucking worry about it. Feel the pain in your heart, and then you will have automatic compassion and forgiveness for them. Like, it's kind of a byproduct of feeling the truth of the pain. Right? You want to talk about shadow work. It's like pain or forgiveness. Right? They're on other ends of the scales, of the spectrum, right? It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel. Hey Casey, I just seeing your comment there. Okay, Serene. And people like, I never cry. I can't cry. I'm like, go and watch a sad movie. Or something will trigger you, right? So let's talk about a relationship breakup. You can't cry. You know you have to. You know you need to get out, but you can't, right? Either watch a sad movie, let yourself cry, because you'll be crying about that, but then all the other cry will come out. So let yourself drop into that, right? And it's like, they hurt me. I don't want them to be with somebody else, blah, 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 right? Whatever triggers your crying, use that as your lid. Take the lid off and drop into further, right? So you might be crying about a sad movie, but then you'll be like, actually, I'm really sad about the relationship or whatever. Let yourself drop into that. Use it. Use that tool to help yourself cry. Or have a counsellor or someone can help you hold space and know how to do that. Yeah. Yeah, good old triggers. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so crying is important, right? It helps you to be authentic. Authentic crying more so, right? So this is for Serene. interesting. This is probably going to make you cry. Yeah? Marriage. The fairies join you in wedded bliss, and you'll probably be fucking pissed off and upset and confused getting this card now, right? Right? Yes, onions, awesome. Thank you for that, Kylie. Can also trigger crying. Yep, awesome. Anything that can trigger cries, good. Now, what we also grieve when we grieve a relationship breakup is the hopes and the dreams that we had about that relationship in the start that didn't happen, but we were always fantasizing, or we have these, you know, yes, yay, we're dropping into the feelings. So good at the end of this live stream because we're dropping into the heart. This here is we grieve. So there's lots of things about the grief and the authentic grieving, right? We grieve about the pain. We grieve about the shit. We grieve about all the stuff they said to us and hurt us, and then we drop into remorse and we're like, we wish that didn't happen, or then we remember our part of that and we feel remorseful. By the way, when we feel remorse, it's the deepest, most powerful healing ever, because we're realizing that our behavior also hurt them and other. When we feel remorse, we're like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that, right? That's when we really shift, right? Patterns. We're grieving it all about all the shit. Another aspect of grief is that we're grieving about all the hopes and dreams that we had about that relationship. Yep, all the time, but in reality, it was never fucking gonna happen anyway, right? But we've got these ideals in our head about the relationship, and this is where, like, you know, going through everything I've just shared on this live stream, not gonna repeat myself, seeing the truth, blah, 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 blah. It's like we stay in the reality when we allow ourselves to feel the hurt and pain and trust our intuition to guide us, rather than staying in the hopes and dreams and stuff and up here, right? We don't let ourselves feel, so it takes us away from path, takes us out of alignment. Remember, judgment is discernment, turning a blind eye. We've gone through third eye, right? So we're grieving about the pain and the shit. Then we're grieving about the lost hopes and dreams that didn't even happen, like marriage or all the happy picket fence, whatever your dreams were. And then we're also grieving about the good times that there were and the love that you actually felt for them. And it's okay to grieve that actually you fucking loved that person. Actually, underneath it all, under all the shit, under all the realities that didn't happen, you actually had love for each other. And that's powerful to acknowledge that too. And that is just one relationship breakup. One person. You really want to clear your relationship threads? You do that grief process for every relationship you've ever fucking had in your life. And you'll be like, fuck, Anna. I'm like, yeah. And talk about doing inner work. And talk about feeling the depths and the grief of your heart. And then amplifying your intuition and your life purpose, and feeling free and not getting so triggered by people all the time, like all the time. That's the depth of pain and grief you want to feel in your heart. 12.5 years. Does it take time? Yes. Is it nice? No. Is it easy? No. Is it worth it? Fuck yes. But it's a long-term thing, and this is where I'm saying to you guys, this shit doesn't happen overnight. This, you know, like people are like, instant manifestation and da-da-da, and I'm like, yeah, but come on, we live in a 3D reality, guys. We're stuck in human bodies to experience this. Cut yourself a bit of slack. The heart's powerful, but fuck, it carries a lot of grief as well. Yeah? So, that's your card. Okay. So, Judy, is Judy still here? You're so welcome. Is Judy and Kylie still here? I'm not going to pull cards if they're not on the live stream. So, Judy and Kylie. Being patient. Yeah. Yeah. The first wake up, since I was talking at the crown chakra, Kylie's here. So, this is what I was talking about, the crown chakra, that, you know, like, we have spiritual awakenings and we get stuck in our head because we want to feel the pain, right? And it's like, you know, when the pain is not felt, you know, we wonder why our manifestations are not working and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, there's power in feeling. Like, we're feeling all the time and we're wondering why our manifestations aren't working, or we're attracting all these shit ass, you know, experiences. It's like, yeah, well, look at the pain you're carrying. Like, you're not going to feel that. Not going to repeat the live stream again. Please, if you just joined on, please watch the first hour of this training if you really want to understand shadow, triggers, amplifying intuition. Like, fuck, it was a powerful moment. Like, that first hour, if every fucking person on the planet got that, we would not be in this dimension anymore, because we wouldn't be in this reality, because we get it. Anyway, I'm passionate about that. And I was just pulling a card for Kylie. I just shuffled these cards. I pulled the walk away card for you too. Doing the work, walking the work. Kylie, this card is for you. Leave the unhealthy situation and enjoy the new doors that open as a result. Does that have significant meaning for you? I'm like, it's pretty self-explanatory card, right? And by the way, I just want to point out, the only reason we will go back to relationships and back to relationships and back to relationships over and over and over again is because we haven't felt the grief in our heart about everything that I've just been sharing on this live stream. Like I was going to say, both live streams on like the first hour, and then even going through these cards, we go back to the relationship because we haven't felt the grief of the marriage. What I was saying about the marriage card, all the different types of grief that we're grieving, right? If we haven't actually grieved about the fact that we love that person, if we actually haven't grieved the fact that we had all these hopes and dreams and we want to get married, if we haven't actually grieved the fact that we you know, of the shit and the pain, which is probably what we're grieving about all the time, right? It's like, this is why we will go back and back and back, because we just haven't felt the grief. Like, it's pretty much. And as I said, it's like, you know, where are we needing to let go of? Like, what are we still holding on to? Maybe not sure. Yeah, so I was like, I'm hearing career as well for you, and I'm not sure what's going on. Let's pull another card for more information for you, Kylie. Didn't you just say about the onions and then it triggered the crying? And I'm curious what you're crying about. That's what came to mind when I pulled that card anyway. Spring. Okay. It's both yellow cards, both solar plexus. So as I was saying before, let's go this way. I'm doing it back to front. So as I was saying before, like the spring card for Kelly was about like a new season in your life, right? Really opening up to a new season in your life. So when we are opening up to a new season in your life, it's like the grief. So grief is triggered not only from relationship breakup, but from any change. So a career change, moving house, you were going to catch up with a friend, and then they at last minute they pulled out. You go through the grief cycle when they pull out, because it's change. So, okay. Yeah, so crying from overwhelm. Yeah, so have you gone through a big change lately? Is what I'd be asking you, because then when the spring card has come up, it's like what you're kind of coming out. It's similar to Kelly. It's like you're coming out of a winter, you're coming out of a darkness, you're really like coming in blooming in your life, and that's a change, right? That is a change. And so when we haven't gone through grieving the change, even good change, right? This is still good change. It still triggers the grief cycle. And this is why I'm so passionate about it. This is why it's in module 1 of Trust Intuition. I go into grief because of the fact that any change, positive or negative, right, makes you've been letting go and following a new path. Yeah. So it's like, you know, and that triggers the grief, right? And if even, like I was saying, even if it's a positive change, if we don't grieve about letting go of our old life, we're carrying that in, and that's when we feel overwhelmed, because we're trying to like let all these new teachings and everything in, for example, and we're just like, oh my god, and the brain's rewiring, and we're like, oh my god, because we haven't let go of the old stuff energetically, or the pain, or like just, you know, just letting go of the old life, right? So more crying for you. And when you say you slip back into PTSD, it's like the more you can like let go, like the more you can grieve your old life, basically. Like when those triggers come, just drop. And this is where I teach my clients. It's like when those triggers come, drop into it. I don't care what comes up in that grief. Like I don't care what's triggered it. It's like, yes, cool, here's a chance to drop. Because the faster you jump onto those triggers of, you start crying, something triggers you, and you're like, fuck, and then you're like, okay, and usually you can kind of ask yourself, you're like, okay, what else am I crying about, or what else is going to come up? And that takes practice to train yourself to do that sort of thing. What else am I sad about? If you've got 5 minutes to drop into the grief, like whatever just comes up, like just hold still for a minute and just like, oh my God, like just let it come out. And it does take practice to get comfortable with crying like that, okay? The faster you do it, I mean, like the more you do it, the faster you will get at those, the trigger. And it's like, oh, here's something else to come up and out. And you only need to give yourself a short space of time, like, you know, the more regularly you do it, and it'll come up and out, and then you'll be like, and then you might feel tired, and you'll be like, oh my God, and like, you know that emotional tiredness, like after you've had a cry or something, like it's a different sort of tiredness, right? And it's like, they're the most healing things. And that the more that you jump on those triggers and allow yourself to cry, you drop down. So you drop into sadness, and you drop into anger, or you drop back into sadness, and you drop into like just kind of like a nothingness. And it's like okay, right? And it's just like, okay, that needed to come out, right? Rather than it's sitting there, we get triggered, we slap all these things on, like I was saying in the start of this live stream, the first hour, please go and rewatch it. It's like, you know, we slap all that on, and that's when we get anxiety. That's when we, all our PTSD is triggered and all of that, because it's all in here, right? It's all in there, right? Because we're not feeling it. When we learn the skills and understand just dropping, like whatever triggers, drop into the cry, like let it come out. It's not sitting in our heart. So we can breathe deeper. We can be present with everything I just shared on this live stream. Yeah? So that's your card. Lots of like letting the grief go, even from moving from a new life to an old life to a new, right? It doesn't have to just be about a relationship breakup or somebody dying, right? Grief, I teach this in module 1 for everything I've shared on this live stream, right? Pretty much. Okay. Okay. I'm hungry. It's on my left hand. I switched the camera around. I've got all my tattoos on my left for some reason. That's the feminine, I don't know. You're so welcome. Yeah, I switched the camera around so you guys could see the cards, because otherwise the cards are back to front. So Samoya, are you still here? I'm just seeing, is Sherry still here? So love that that's helped you. Okay, I'm only going to pull cards for people who are still on the live stream. Okay, yeah, Sherry's here. Yeah, cool. So I'll pull one for Sherry, and then I'll pull one for Samoy. So welcome, Kylie. So welcome, Tammy. Okay, so Sherry. Okay. Oh, sorry, I'm hungry. You can probably hear my tummy rumbling. Sherry, admit your true feelings to yourself. This is like everything I've been talking about in the live stream. If you didn't watch the first hour is pure gold, and you can watch that 10 times over and get something new out of it every single time. It is a very deep, comprehensive training on the first hour of this live stream, and it's like, admit your true feelings to yourself. Be honest with yourself. Only you know what it is that you truly desire. No, it's all good, Samoy. I want to pull up for you. It's all good. I did eat before, but I only had an apple, I guess. Anyway, I wasn't hungry before. So admit your true feelings to yourself. So Sherry, it's pretty much everything I've been talking about in this live stream, right? If you know, and this is the thing, like, you know, when we don't know how to be with our feelings, you know, and we're talking about ears, and you know, it's the ear chakra week, right? We've really dropped into the heart, like, because it's what we're stepping into this week is the clairsentience. It's our heart feeling, right? So when we, you know, admit your true feelings to yourself, if we don't know how to do everything that I just spoke on this live stream, I was just about to say, I'm not going to repeat myself. I didn't say it. I should have just said it because I lost my train of thought. If we don't do everything I just spoke on this live stream about feeling your feelings and knowing how to do that, right? What happens is that we're in a situation, someone will say something, we'll feel hurt, we'll shut that down, right? Yeah, you're battling between two extremes of feelings. Please rewatch the first hour is pure gold. And then if you continue in for about the first 15 or 20 minutes after that hour, it's like kind of like final piece, right? About shadow work and stuff and about everything, right? Please, yes, please watch the first hour of this live stream, Sherry. You will understand when you watch the first hour, right? I really can't stress this enough, guys. I'm just like, I want this out to the world because I'm like, that first hour can change the fucking world itself. Anyway, yeah, cool. Yeah, I can pull a card for you, Casey. I didn't see you said you wanted one before that, so I didn't. If you don't say yes, I want one, then I don't pull one. Yeah, so please watch the start of this live stream, Sherry, because it's going to help you to understand, admit your true feelings to yourself, right? Because when you're saying you're battling between two extremes of feelings, that means that you're confused. And I spoke deeply about confusion and how to get to the truth about what you're feeling on the first hour of this live stream. So I'm not going to go into it because I will repeat the whole live stream pretty much. But please, like honestly, watch the first hour and watch the first hour 10 times over and you will get something new out of it every time. You'll be like, oh, I get it now, right? Like seriously, like that's what this live stream is like. So please, because then you will be able to understand what your true feelings are, right? You're more hurt than confused? Yep. Please watch this live stream. Did I miss your post? Must have, Melanie. I didn't even know you were here. What did you say you wanted a card? I imagine that's what you were saying there. Please let me know, Melanie, because yeah, I didn't. Oh, you've just said hello. Did you say something else? Oh, you said, could you pull one for me too? I did miss you. All right, I'm going to pull Samoy and then Melanie and then Casey. So this is for Samoy. Please, Cherie, go watch the live stream. Please watch the start. When you're saying you're more hurt than confused, I'm like, yep, hurt was pretty much the one I spoke about for the first hour. But the confusion was in that as well. Interesting, Samoy. Now I know you've got kids, Samoy, right? Your son is watched over and protected as he explores this world. Please rewatch the live stream. I spoke about children. I spoke about how to handle tantrums and feelings with children in this live stream, as well as our own feelings and, you know, and how the two are deeply interconnected, right? So if you've got kids, I'm really, really curious if you've been wondering about, like, I don't know, tantrums and stuff, because it actually came up on live stream and it was pure gold, about that, about how to handle tantrums, about hitting, about what do we do with those feelings. All of that is deeply connected to the ears, deeply connected to the heart, it's deeply connected to why we are carrying the hurt and pain and blah, 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 right? Exactly what you need. Okay, I'm not going to say anymore. Please watch the live stream, right? All right, Melanie. Yes, yeah, take that as a birthday message. Cherie, please watch the live stream, watch it 10 times over. Like, I can't stress it enough, guys, because seriously, it's yeah. Melanie, oh, talking about kids, pregnancy. Melanie, are you pregnant? It's so funny because, well, funny, not funny. I actually got a message last night and I need to post it publicly. I'm a bit scared to post it, but I just got the message, like, you know how I was saying, no, if you guys read through my post, I'm like, there's going to be like a big influx of energy shortly. Like, you know, from the, I don't know, from this full moon to the next full moon, like, you know, around the 23rd of October, like, it just feels like, I don't know, I was getting like something big's happening, something's going to come to light or whatever the fuck, right? When I was going to sleep last night, the message I got that I need to post publicly, I'm like, okay, I need to tell the world this, like, this is what I was saying, like, you need to post about this. There is, like, I don't know how many souls. There is a lot of souls ready to incarnate on this planet. Like, they are waiting. And I'm like, okay. And I could see and feel them all, like, you know, and I'm like, okay. Like, around that 23rd, 24th, 25th of October. I know that September, I'm like, feels like it's kind of another month away, but they're waiting to come in. And I'm like, okay, so like I kind of need to say, if you're trying to fall pregnant, kind of, you know, like it's going to happen sort of thing. But also if you don't want to be pregnant, be very careful, because there's lot of souls. I'm getting like billions. I'm like, how is that possible? I don't know. Well, there's 74 billion people on the planet. I'm like, the possibility of lots of people coming in, I'm like, is it very, very significant high chance, right? So what I'm saying is, if you don't want to fall pregnant, please be mine. Yeah. I don't know if it's the Pleiadians. I don't know. Like, there's one particular star being, I probably should maybe ask them. Oh, sorry. I'm hearing yes, they are the Pleiadians. Sorry, I'll just ask them then. It's really strong, right? So Melanie, I'm not sure if you are pregnant or trying to fall pregnant, or even in a relationship. If you are not, this card symbolizes, you know, as well as pregnancy in a physical way of a child, it's also about like birthing your projects. So if you've been like working with something, you know, like a project or something, the message I'm getting around that is it's still in the gestation period, in a sense of like, you know, if you feel like it's not working or it's not, you're 42. That's why I'm like, if it's not that, if there's a project or like a new situation in your life or something, like you're still in the gestation period. So if it feels like something is stuck or stagnant, which is also what I spoke about on this live stream, it's like, it's still gestating. Like, I wouldn't like stress like, oh, it's not working, or like, you know, when is it going to happen? It's like, you know, if you kind of look at your life where you are right now, of like, what have you started new recently, sort of thing, right? What's the new kind of stuff you've been doing in your life? And then look at it from a pregnancy. So in like for 9 to 10 months we are pregnant. So if you look at it like, you know, 9 to 10 months of doing whatever you're doing before you start going, it's not working, right? Because it takes time. Like, this is what I was talking about before. You know, like, we live in a 3D world. We really need to honor what we're doing. Like, we're kind of limitless beings, but we're stuck in a 3D body. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, well, how do we freaking work this thing? It's like, well, this is what I'm passionate about teaching you. It's like, you know, like, keep, you know, doing your thing, because, and I posted about that yesterday with the ears, actually, in this group. It's like, it when you do it consistently every day, it builds momentum, and then the momentum has its own energy, right? Yep, you're launching a business. Yeah, so treat it like a pregnancy, right? Treat it like a pregnancy, tender love and care, rest, nutrients, like, you know, all those things. If you want to, you know, implement, put them all into place, put all the structures into place, so that when it's birthed, like a newborn baby, you're going to need more support, you're going to need more time for it, because it's a newborn then. You know, so I'd be really mindful of that. It's kind of like, you know, it's growing. Like, you know, a baby grows effortlessly. We just need to give it tender love and care even when it's in our belly. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, so that's what I'd be looking at. And I don't know, the timeline's really important, I'm hearing, for you. So if you look at it like when you kind of started it, or even made changes, you know, in it, it's kind of like, just, I don't know, I'm just getting the message that the timeline is of importance for you. So look at it like that, right? It's interesting that you just said that, Samoy, because even before you said, like, because I didn't read the whole message, and it just, when you said like, please ask him if they are my family, before I like pressed the button to see what the rest of the comment was, I saw the light, the blue, because the one that I'm working with isn't actually that color. They, like, because before I read the rest of your comment, what I saw was it's so weird, right? Sorry, I'm just, the light, how do you describe it? The light silver blue, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to even put a name to that color, but it is that white blue light. It's the silver, it's not silver, it's the, I don't know, Archangel Michael sparkle color type lights, like, but it's silver, or it's not silver. Because I mean, I'm like, I see all these things with them and I can't put words to them. I can't describe them with stuff that they've been showing me, and I'm just like, kind of, I've been quiet about a lot of it, because I'm like, I thought, I'm losing my words. I'm like the queen of like being able to translate spiritual messages, and for some reason with the Pleiadians and stuff, opal-y kind of, yeah, like, but it's not opal, like, it's weird, right? Because it doesn't really have the pink in it, the stuff I'm seeing. It's more like, I can't describe the color of it. So yeah, so Melanie, that was your card. Samoya pulled you a card. Was there someone else? I think that was all, wasn't it? Oh, Casey. And then I'm jumping off because I'm hungry. It's opal, but it doesn't have the pink through it. Or the pearl, really. Yeah. I know. It's alive, I know. It's why I started doing the distance healings, because that was the nudge that I got from them, and the stuff that I'm using with the distance healings, it's not alive. I mean, it's not alive either. Like, yeah. They just said everyone's their family. That's what I just heard with that. Yeah. Everybody's been getting upgrades, hey. Like, and this is what, remember you posted in the Trust Intuition group. You're so welcome, Kalia. I'm pulling a card for Casey. Is Casey still here? You're so welcome, Melanie. Teresa. I just lost my train of thought. Oh, you posted in the group about that woman back in like February or March saying we're going to get like upgrades and people are going to be beamed up to the fucking things and whatever. And like, I haven't gone there because I'm like, you can do it here. It's on my bed. It's what I've been experiencing. I don't really like leaving my body and going places. Okay, Casey. Yes, she's still here. Okay. Casey. Summer. Interesting. Are you... I mean, maybe I have some more, but if I have, I haven't been aware of that. So, Casey, everything that you're asking for becomes yours in the summertime. Are you on the whereabouts are you in the world? Whereabouts are you in the world, Casey? Because we talked about the spring in your life and then the summer in your life, and it's like everything that you're asking for becomes yours in the summertime. The message that I'm specifically getting for you, Casey, is don't give up. Don't, like, it feels like everything is so close. Don't give up. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, everything is so close, don't give up. It's what I just keep hearing with this card, because we're talking about, you know, like the spring, like the winter is like the dark time, and then we're coming into spring of your life, and then like the summer is like where everything's in full bloom. I'm really getting the message for you, Casey. Everything is about to come into full bloom, right? Yes, definitely, Sherry. Or Sherry, please. It's spring. What a happy card. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, and it just feels like everything, you know what I mean? Like it's about to go, like sort of thing. Like, you know, we look at spring and summer, and I just spoke about the timelines and the, like, what was it? The pregnancy card, and like timelines are important, you know, like just like letting it, do that, right? So the summer, it's like everything is so close. It's like, it's like everything is so close. Like, don't give up is the message for you. I don't need to say anymore. Really, it's like there's a really clear message for you. And yes, you're right. It's a very happy card. So yay. Oh wow. Yeah, isn't that interesting? So it's so interesting, people. So I'm sorry, I'm not like I wanted to do like the plant medicines and stuff like a while ago, and then I was like, why haven't I done that? I was like, yeah, I'm going to go to a ceremony, I'm going to do all this stuff. And then, I don't know, I just didn't get there, obviously. And then I was like, why am I drawn to that? And then I read somebody's post, and they're like, I'm just like, you know, they were sharing their experience on it. And I was like, they were connected to everything, even though they were walking back to the, you know, camp sort of thing. But everything was connected, and they could hear and see all realms. And I'm like, is that why I don't need it? Because I'm like, that's so normal to me. Like, I'm like, this is normal for me. So is that what? Anyway, I just pulled a card for myself, by the way, for some reason. Ooh, the winter. We're pulling all the season cards. So interesting. And I know exactly what that's about for myself there. Yeah, you don't need it. Yeah, see, and I hadn't done it, and I think people around me were doing it, and I was like, oh, like, I want to try it. I'm like, yeah, I'll do the full ceremony and blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, oh, actually, you know, like, I don't know, it's the same thing. I'm like, actually, I don't need it. And I haven't felt drawn to it since when I've realized that. I'm like, oh, I feel like my passion is teaching people how to do this without needing any drugs and stuff. Vanessa says, I've been so lit up and attracted to pink, light pink sparkles. Is there any messages you can share for that? Yeah, so whenever you're seeing different colors of light, you know, like like different colors have different meanings in a sense, obviously. So like with the archangels, for example, so the archangels are, you know, like when you see the kind of blue white lights, like the blue sparkles or whatever, it's usually Archangel Michael. So the first thing I'd be saying to you, Vanessa, is to ask you, like ask the pink lights what its message is, like who is it or what its message is. Like, can I please have more information? I'm seeing these pink sparkles of light. Can I please have more information about that? Can I please have a conscious understanding of what that message is for me, or who it is, or, you know, just ask for a conscious understanding about more information about it, is the first thing I'd be saying, because what I'm about to say may or may not be it, because everybody sees and experiences different things, and this is where I'm always saying trust your intuition over what I tell you. So I'm like, ask for more information. But the pink and I mean, like, and it's weird because Archangel Jophiel is coming to mind, but I'm like, I didn't think she was associated with pink. But Archangel Jophiel is like the archangel of like positive interest, like positive thinking. Like she's like the beautifying archangel. So she like beautifies everything, like feng shui in your home, cleaning your home, but also like beautifying your thoughts as well. So, and I'm like I'm hearing and feeling it's Archangel Jophiel, but my logical mind's going, but I didn't think you were associated with pink. So, yeah, on what I'm to let go or just letting go. Feeling the grief in your heart, Doreen. That's what you need to let go of. The pain and the grief and everything I spoke about on this live stream is what you need to let go of. So yeah, I'd be asking for more information, and you're attracted to pink, light pink sparkles. You know, and when you're attracted to pink, like pink is associated with the heart. I mean, pink is the ears as well, right? I've just got the heart for you. So light pink, you know, like the heart is green, obviously, but it's also, pink is associated with the heart as well, which ear chakras, you know. So if you didn't watch the start of this live stream, Vanessa, you probably get a lot out of it as well. Is what I'm hearing for you too. And also I was just going to say one last thing. So the pink, because rose quartz is associated, like rose quartz is pink, right? And rose quartz is the heart. And rose quartz in the liquid crystals is associated with forgiveness. And we don't get into true forgiveness until we feel the grief in your heart, which is exactly what I've been talking about on this entire live stream. Sorry guys, thanks for joining me live. If you didn't watch the first hour, I can't stress it enough. Please go and watch it, and watch it 10 times over, and you'll get something out of it every single time. It's a very, very powerful, deep understanding of consciousness and healing and friggin' ear chakras and heart chakras, are like the whole friggin' thing, right? Shadow work, like throat, like the whole thing. Yeah, feel, not let go of pain and grief. Feel it. It's the only way you'll let go of it, is feeling it. Yeah? So have you got to be at a certain level before you can directly connect? I'm so desperate to consciously connect. It hurts and I feel so overwhelmed when I sit in the thought of the Pleiadians. Okay, Samoy, you are up to what? Module 4 of Trust Intuition. How do you connect? Do trust intuition. You've got it right there, babe. Yeah? Melanie says, yes, some people are super sensitive already and have those pathways open, and I have those connections already without that type of like, yeah, isn't it interesting that you say that? Thanks for sharing that, Melanie, because I guess, yeah, I don't know, it made sense. And of course, Spirit shows me everything I need to know. Like, you want to talk about walking in trust? I'm like, I feel like something's off with someone or something, and I'm like, oh well, I'll be showing. Like, I don't stress about it, because I'm like, I get shown fucking everything. I get shown things that I didn't even know I needed to see. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, okay, right? And I've had that for a long time. And you talk about trust and, you know, not getting stuck in your head, everything I talked about on this live stream, and try to figure it out and analyzing and controlling the situation. It's like when we drop into feeling everything I talked about on this live stream, I'm not going to repeat myself, that's when we get shown everything we need to see. And people are like, how did she fucking know that? I smell things. Like, do you know what I mean? Like literally get physical smells. Like, go figure that one. Not paint. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, you're so welcome, guys. Yeah, thanks, Melanie, for sharing that, because yeah, I know I'm not the only one, but it just made sense. I was like, oh, and then I just haven't been drawn to it or even those people anymore. So yeah, I'm like, oh, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me live. On Monday, I'll post in the group, but I was going to do it tomorrow, but I'm going to have a day off tomorrow. So Monday, I'm going to do the shadow cards. So we'll be stepping into Heart Chakra week. We're stepping into the Clairsentience week from Monday. Well, technically we're kind of in the energy of it now, but on Monday I'm going to do the live stream on the shadow cards and pull shadow cards specifically. If you've rewatched the start of this live stream, you'll see I spoke about it quite a lot. It was like, well, this is the understanding of how we go from the ears to the throat, and you know why the throat's so important, and it's the shadow and blah blah blah, and just watch the live stream. And what else was I gonna say? Yeah, and I will do the live stream this time next week. I thought I wasn't gonna be able to do it at the same time every week, but I am, so it will be back same time next week for the heart, which will be the last of our 4 weeks of a Get Clear Intuition free training. Once we finish this training, the $19 course will go back up to $49. So if you haven't got that yet, it will be the last week that you'll be able to grab that for $19. That's the Get Clear Intuition, where we go deep into the healing of the actual organs and repairing them and building an intimate relationship with them. Thanks so much, Samoy. Lovely to have you guys here. Thank you for joining me live, and I'm excited because I do have some things coming up in this private group after I Get Clear Intuition free training, because I love you guys, and I shall see you all soon. Lots of love. Namaste.